Being a part of the design and implementation of a home here on the North Shore of this caliber, it was really interesting for me because I grew up in this area. I was drawn towards all the elements of making it a family home, yet it would suit an affluent family or an entertaining family, a sports-minded family. It has indoor-outdoor living, which is really popular, and different elements that made it feel like it was really a part of the community here. Working within a budget to build a high-performance and high-quality home has some restrictions. So in this case, we put all our efforts into building something that doesn't feel too fancy, but it feels very comfortable. You can feel quality just by walking around in here. It's very family-oriented. It's got big open spaces. The hallways are wide and generous. Big operating kitchen, so you can feed a family of 6 around the island, or you can sit in the dining room. It's very comfortable. This is an Energy Star home, and it's the first here in the district of North Van. With building an Energy Star home or any high-performance home, essentially you start from the ground up. And what we've done here is right out of the ground, we've used insulated concrete forms. So we've got essentially 3 inches of foam on the inside, 8 inches of concrete, and then 3 inches of foam on the outside with a waterproof barrier. So this makes the basement an entirely insulated space. So we now have either an extraordinarily cool basement or a very warm basement, depending on how you control your temperatures here. Another unique feature here is that we've wrapped the entire exterior of the home in 1.5 inches of rigid insulation. This creates an airtight seal on the outside of the house. So this achieves our weather barrier and air barrier. We've got a airtight seal to the underside of the roof sheathing. And this has created not only a great air barrier and weather barrier up there, but it's also created what's called a conditioned space or a conditioned attic space. So we don't need to insulate any of our piping, our water lines. Another aspect in the design and build implementation of a high-performance home is to consider how much light you want in. This is a very bright home, but of course everyone's concerned about, well, windows, you're going to lose all your energy. So in this case, we chose to work on triple glazed or triple pane glass. So in that aspect, you're reducing your heat loss in the winter, but also your solar gains are drastically reduced in the summer. And so in this case, the air conditioning unit doesn't have to work as hard to keep it cool. There's lots of factors. It's not just about making a home more efficient. It's also about renewable resources, using local products, using local suppliers, reducing your carbon footprint. Really engrossing yourself in the build level and understanding it. The rocks that were used are all natural. They're supplied to us and milled on site by our stonemason. They're from Vancouver Island. All the cedar that's used is BC cedar that's on the soffitting, as well as the cedar siding on the home. So we've tried our utmost to bring everything that's supplied locally, including our site-finished oak floor. That's a Canadian product. Homes of this caliber you're typically going to see maybe in the west side of Vancouver, West Vancouver, certain parts of North Vancouver. But here, this particular project has really stood on its own 2 feet to exemplify high quality, high performance, energy efficiency. We have solar power, we have literally everything going on in this house. It definitely stands out on its own.